Hey everyone, welcome to Abstract Boss. So, happy 4th of July. I love the 4th of July. The fireworks are my favorite, and I am super excited because I decided to make the 4th of July an extra special collaboration. So, I am going to be working with Wandering Art. She does amazing pieces with resin, and she does really cool like pet portraits and stuff like that. And we just started talking, we became friends, and I was like, you know what, hey, let's just do a video together. And we both seen a video on one of the geode pages that we follow in Facebook, and we fell in love. So we decided that that was going to be our challenge. We did not give each other a lot of rules to follow. We just decided that, hey, let's just try to recreate it and go from there. Well, since it's the 4th of July, I'm gonna go ahead and make mine red, white, and blue themed, and let's see what she does too. I'll make sure to link her video below so that way you guys can check it out because I don't even know what she's doing. We're gonna post it together same day and I'm excited. So happy 4th of July. I hope you guys have an amazing day and let's get to it. And what you need is a hot glue gun to be able to make your mold. I have heard some people use like silicone and stuff like that, but they, I think some people have had issues removing it from resin, and I don't want to have that issue. And then underneath this is freezer paper, and I'm working with art resin today and a bunch of assorted glitters. Okay, so glitter, 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 glitter. And then if the glitter is too transparent, I do have some acrylic paint or even pigment powders, depending on what you guys have, to be able to add in, but that's like if I can't get this to work. So what I did right here is I just created a very small form that we're going to create these jewelry pendants, okay? Now, I have no idea what Alexis is doing over on Wandering Art. She and I just kind of took it as let's do our own interpretations, and both challenged to do the same type of thing though. So both doing the geode pendants, okay? Now, I normally do geodes on big canvas and she normally does pet paintings and like resin paintings and stuff like that, and her work is really cool. I love it. So this type of thing I think is going to be a really unique challenge for both of us, and I'm excited. So let's go ahead and get to it. I did this so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. I have lots of resin. You guys can see there's a lot of resin in there. I have not mixed it yet, but the reason I mixed up a lot is because I'm also going to try to do a lot of these pendants, okay? Not just one or two. So we're gonna see how it goes. I have some blue, red, silver glitter as well as some blue, red, gold glitter. I thought it would be fun to do kind of like a 4th of July themed, since this is going to be coming out on the 4th of July, like just fun stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have an amazing 4th of July planned out. I really enjoy the 4th. I think it's a really fun holiday. Lots of fireworks, and my kid, you know, loves to see that type of stuff. You know, what 8-year-old wouldn't? So it's going to be awesome. All right, so it kind of got stuck to the freezer paper. So what I'm gonna do, now the resin won't stick to the freezer paper. This was the same freezer paper that I used for the colorberry geode that I did. And I was able to peel it all off. There's just some, like back here, that I couldn't. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to make it in various sizes, but if it's nice and thick like this, you're not gonna have any issues taking it off of the freezer paper. Now, what I'm gonna do is just kind of create some type of oval, and what's great about the hot glue gun is it kind of leaves blub marks, like, you know, blub, blub. So it's not straight, it's going to be crazy, and it's gonna give you a really cool geode look because of that. And I'm really excited. Anytime I pull it out though, because I want to keep the extra strings on the outside, so just keep going around, make it a little crooked if you want, just whatever you guys are feeling, and then notice how I go out with it. Now this one's already dry, see? So what you're gonna do, because we need it to be nice and thick, so what you're gonna do is you're going to add a second layer of your hot glue. And like I said, just let it do its thing. This is going to give that look a very natural, cool, rough edge geode look, okay? So we're just going to layer this up until we have a really nice mold. And like I said, I'm not worried about it coming off this freezer paper. She used, Forever Love used a cell phone case, but I don't have one that I would feel safe putting resin or hot glue on. So you guys can check her video out too. But I definitely, I'm excited for this. I think this will be cool. And let's see, that was not really very dry, but I'm very impatient. But yeah, use what you can. Some people were using wax paper. If you do, you're gonna have kind of a matte look though versus a shiny look. Some people will use a silicone mat, which that will give you a shiny look if that silicone mat is shiny. So just kind of play with that and go with whatever your preference is. Okay, so these still aren't very thick for me. So what I'm gonna keep doing is I am going to create a couple more molds and stack them nice and high, and then I'll be back so that way we can get started on the pouring and how to fill it all. I finished a few more molds, and I did probably about 3. In a couple areas the super glue had like fallen outwards a little bit, so I had to pile it up with just a little extra glue. So just kind of do that by your own preference. This one only has, it has 3 as well, but it's not as tall, it seems. But yeah, just do whatever you guys are thinking would be best. They all have different variations of, you know, whether this one's a little bit longer and skinnier, and this one's wider, and this one's just a little teeny tiny one there. So I'm curious to see what happens. I have actual jewelry molds too, but I'm not wanting this to be, you know, flat edged and perfect. Like, I want these to be crazy and fun. So because of that, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Now I'm definitely gonna have way too much extra resin, which is fine for me because I'm gonna make them into coasters after this. But I would say probably about 2 tablespoons worth of resin for this one. But I always like to go over by just a little bit. So I'd say 3, 2, we'll say 2 on this one, 2 on this one, 2 on this one, and then 1 on this one. So add those together and then calculate to how much resin you would need. I don't calculate, I'm sorry. I just kind of go from eyesight because I'm okay with making extra coasters. I sell them at my festivals. So I am not worried about that. If you guys are worried about, you know, making the extra, then try to calculate it out. It's always better to make too little in that sense, and you can always make more. So do whatever you and your paint journey is presenting itself for. All right, so right now I'm just pouring my resin and my hardener in my mixing cup, and I'm going to mix that together for 3 minutes. Or longer. Just make sure it's fully mixed. That's the biggest thing with resin. And then we'll get started. All right, so here's some key things working with resin and glitter. You need a bunch of glitter, and I don't say that lightly. Like, literally you need to thicken up this resin as much as possible with your glitter because you don't want it to be very flowy. You want it to be chunky, so that way you have time to go grab your other colors and whatnot. So what I'm doing is I already poured some resin into my cups, and now I'm going to pour my glitters. So first off, make sure you have everything ready. Again, I'm gonna do, this is Azul, I think is what it's called. No, Onyx. Onyx, and then I am also going to mix in some Martha Stewart Azurite, just to really give it a nice light and dark tone to it. So you can really see the blue, but then you can also, it's gonna match the red a lot better, I think. So just kind of mixing it together. Now, the trick that I learned from Mrs. Colorberry is you really wanna make sure that it clumps off of your popsicle stick versus flowing off your popsicle stick. Now this is still a little too flowy, so I'm gonna add a lot more glitter, make it nice and thick. Look at that, very thick. Very, very, very thick. Now, I'm gonna also get my red ready, my silver ready, and my gold ready. So nice and chunky. Now, here's what I'm gonna do, and we'll see if this works. I mean, I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. You wanna make sure that you're not covering the entire mold. So I'm just gonna layer it in and around my hot glue, and then immediately go on to my next color here. For this one, woo, yeah, this is a hot mess. Hot mess. Loving it. And then the lines will happen after. So these you definitely would want to add lines just to give it more of a geode look, and then some roughness around the edge, you know, just different stuff like that. But what's great is honestly you could play around with it. This could be your front, but it could also be your back. So if the other side turns out to look nicer, then that could be the side that you go with. So I'm gonna leave this like this and go on to the next one. Just kind of move quickly just because you don't want it to flow out and then not have time to get the other colors in. So move somewhat quickly, but then at the same time, you know, not too quick. I know, I'm a conundrum. All right, let's do some, well, we'll do our silver and gold after. So I'm gonna do my blue and red first. Ooh, this one's doing a really nice line. So then I can actually do the silver, and you'll want to wipe the tops because we don't want that. These are probably gonna have to be sanded. I don't know. We're gonna see. She did really good with her control and her glitter. Talking about Forever Love. I am not very good at that. So I'm used to doing very big projects. This is a whole nother thing. So we'll see how this turns out. This will be interesting. And let's just do maybe all blue in this one, and we'll do white lines. So I'm just varying it up, making it different and unique. Yeah, that one will be really pretty. I might do a red one like that too. I like it. Ooh, don't cover. This one might be hard to get out. That's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see how well that one works out. And then let's do an all silver. I think that would be pretty. And I'll do some blue lines and red lines right on top. So for that, I'm gonna have to loosen down my glitter mix to be able to do those fine lines. But I wanted to get my thickness out first. I was honestly afraid of them combining too much, so that's why I made them super thick. And I'm gonna go ahead and thin them out now. Ooh, I didn't do the gold. Okay. Let's thin this one out. We'll just do the gold, because we'll see what happens there. I don't know. Just a trial and error, testing it out, seeing what happens. If this works though, some of you guys who do the craft fairs and stuff, you'll be able to do some nice, unique pieces of jewelry. I'm not much of a jewelry maker, so this I just thought would be fun as a project. Doing it for fun, y'all. So thinning them out, still too little thick. And to thin them out, I don't know if it needed to be said, but I'm adding resin. Okay, so, ooh, that's nice. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take as much off of my popsicle stick as possible, and then I'm just going to poke my popsicle stick, and then see how it still flows off quite nicely. So I'm gonna poke, and then I'm going to wait for that flow off, and just allow that to come right on top. I don't like small surfaces. Small is hard, oh my goodness. But it's pretty. Ooh, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing, try to get it to be nice and thin. Ah, nope. Sure, let's just pile up another bit of blue over here. See what happens. I might drill a hole through that. That'll be interesting. Okay. I'm gonna take that right along the edge here. Now, do y'all notice that I came in from that side and then allowed it to drip off that way? Because you can always wipe the tops of this. The resin doesn't stick to the mold. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so I really like what that was doing. I'm gonna add that more. So I'm gonna make some cool effects. You guys know I don't like straight lines. Gotta do something else. Okay. Sweet. Oh, that looks pretty. Ooh, that's just gonna be a really unique piece. Okay, so mine aren't really turning out just like geodes, but I mean, they're awesome, glittery, and super cool. This will be a perfect one to put that glass glitter right on the inside once I take all that glue out, the hot glue. Oh, neat. I'm curious to see how these turn out on the other side. Okay, that one's cool. And let's see, I might, once this, I don't know, I wish I can get a finer line. I might take something that's pokey to do that. So let's take this. I don't want to add too much on here because it's already really close to covering that glue. And we need that glue to come all the way through. So I can't do too much more on that one. Let's see if I can get that nice thin line around there. There we go, that one worked. I like it. That one kind of disappeared. I actually didn't even notice that I had silver on top of that already. It was hard to see. Okay, so that one's probably one of my favorites so far. This one turned out pretty cool. I'll probably do blue on the outside here, or even gold. You can do gold. Make gold the main one of this one because there's too much. Okay, so I'd say working on a small surface is really freaking hard. I don't like it. But these are gonna be pretty cool. I'm sure once they set and cure, they're gonna be pretty awesome. So just trying to add some extra stuff in here. I do notice that it kind of creates extra lines when you can give it a little bit of space here and just do it on the extra outside and it'll push it together but still keep the line, so that's always good. But this is not my cup of tea, y'all. Shiri, you do such a good job on this. Alexis, I cannot wait to see what you do because you're very creative. There we go. That'll be interesting. And maybe right in the middle with some red. So notice how I just kind of blobbed it in there so that way it'll just fall off of the super glue. See? Okay. And that. I'll add some extra lines on top of this once it cures. And this one I like. We'll see what happens when that cures. This one I like. This one I don't know what's gonna happen. That one I'm gonna have to add some extra lines too. Maybe some gold for now. There we go. All right, so it's pretty cool. I like it. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna let these cure. I do have a paint pen that I can draw lines on top of this and kind of go from there if I decide it needs to have that. What I think is very interesting about doing this is I was not sure if there were holes or not. So I was very nervous to see if that would create some problems, if it kind of would have like leaked through my super glue there, or not super glue, hot glue. Looks like it's gonna create a little bit of a lip in a couple areas. So I don't know, this is not my cup of tea. Not at all. So I'll probably end up doing lines and then adding a little bit of extra resin right on top to fill it up. Yeah, that'll be pretty though. Okay, interesting. Let me know what you guys think. I am going to show you guys the lines once these cure, and I'll put that a part of this video. But if you like the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've seen something new with geodes and you want me to give it a try, I'm down. So send me the video, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, and yeah, we'll go from there. It has been exactly 12 hours. Okay, I did this at 8 o'clock and it is 8 o'clock at night. And if you notice with like the Colorberry geode, I was able to take the resin off this very easily. It had been sitting on there for a couple days though. So I just wanted to show you guys really quickly. Look, it is still gooey. Okay, and it's going to peel up with the freezer paper. So do not rush this process. Note to self, because I was coming in here wanting to do this, but no, this is obviously not ready. I have to let it sit, so I'm probably actually just gonna like cut this out and go set it on my resin table. But yeah, so just keep that in mind, you guys. Do not rush the process. Let it cure a full 24 hours. All right, I'll be back. All right, it's the next morning and I got the glue taken off of the majority of them because I wanted to find the best method to do this before I filmed it. And they look a little rough, so I think that they're gonna need to be sanded really lightly and then maybe something put along the edge, kind of like gold leaf or silver leaf. Those would look great. The backs are not very fancy. Some people might like the backs better, I guess, but they're kind of, they mostly end up being a solid because it just depends on the weight of the glitter. Whoop. So yeah, so now I just wanted to show you guys how to remove them the best way. I was using a knife at first and that's not smart, so no knives. But when you take it off, because of the glue, it's going to come off with the freezer paper, which is fine. It'll come off of the resin part super easy. I took pliers and I just peel the super glue away. Okay, so it's really simple. It's just hard because it doesn't come off super easy, but it does come off all the way, which is nice. Don't use clay because clay will not come off all the way. Play-Doh will not come off all the way. There it goes. And then once you get that off, it is a lot easier. Well, I guess I should get the middle out too before I try to worry about this. But it'll come off super easy. It's just gonna keep getting stuck to that glue that's in the middle now too. So there we go. See how easy it comes off the resin part though? So now we just have to get the glue off. And the way that I did it, at first I was doing it with a knife and just trying to chop it up, and that does not work, not smart. So just stab it through with a Phillips or really a screwdriver. Flathead probably would work too, but it might stab through too sharply. So just be careful. But yeah, this is the really hard part, is getting this out. You see that? Look at that. Oh. Oh, okay, try the other part. There we go. So it came through, and you just want to kind of wiggle it out, and then you can use your pliers to grab the whole thing and pull. Okay, did not get it all, so I gotta stab again. Told you guys, this is the hardest part. Okay. All right, I got most of it. You can see where there's some still left. So you can take pliers, grab, peel. If you have needle nose pliers, that would probably be easier. Okay. Oh, told you guys, this part's hard. This part's the workout, that's for sure. Okay, and done. So like I said, they look really rough around the edges. The one that fell, this one, I do not recommend doing. I only did just a small bit of hot glue, and it is not coming out. It's just so tiny. There's nothing for me to get a grip with. So what I might end up having to do is just drill a hole. And honestly, for something like this, that would be way easier. For these, I can see how having the natural like middle is really cool, but it is still really difficult. So if you can, you know, if you're okay with drilling holes and just have it as a hole and a pendant right at the top or something instead, I think it might be a little bit better. But I'm gonna keep going, and I'm going to do the edges. I'm gonna sand them, and then I'm going to, I don't know what side looks better. That looks pretty cool. I'm gonna sand the edges, and then I'm gonna add some leafing, and then these will be done, I think. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you guys how I'm gonna sand or do the leafing. I'm just going to bring that right back and show you guys the finished product. If you guys want to know how I do that, I have lots of videos on how I do my leafing. My latest wood pup project is perfect for that. So if you guys want to know how to do leafing around the edges of something, check that one out. So I will be right back. So here are the final products. I haven't put the sealer on them yet, so that's the only thing that I need to do. But I tried some lines out on this one, because once I put the silver leafing on it, it really took the coolness of this one away. Like, I loved the blue that was on the outside, and the silver leafing completely covered that. So I added some lines onto this one just to give it kind of more of a geode appeal. The other one, I couldn't even get that middle part out, the little one that I showed you guys earlier. I couldn't get the glue out of that one, so I didn't mess with that one yet. And then this one is my son's favorite. He says he loves this one. And then this one I think is just cool and unique, completely different. And this one I decided to paint the edge versus doing any leafing. So I took like a rustic metal looking paint, and I just painted the edge. And you can see really closely here how the glue leaves lines in the side, which I think is super cool. And I didn't do anything to the middle of any of these. I thought leaving those a little bit more natural looking would be awesome. And then this one is my favorite. I actually did not like this one until I put the gold leafing on it, and now I love it. I think it is friggin' beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. Some of the silver leafing came over too, but I just think that adds to it. And then once the sealer comes on, you guys can see the backs, or, you know, who cares? If you're wanting the backs to be better, you can sand them and polish them, or even just sand them, so that way people aren't like, oh, is that supposed to be the front? No, it's obviously the back. So yeah, this one's my favorite. I tried to put them on a necklace like this, but this necklace, it's not like a formable necklace. It just is round, and it does not work for these types of things. You need something that is a loose chain that can bend. Otherwise, it's just going to be crooked and sideways. So I don't know. I mean, overall, I think it was a really fun project. Not exactly my style. It is too tedious for me. There's way too many like small things to do, and I don't really like having to do that. I love working on bigger surfaces. But I mean, overall, it was still a fun project. It was great getting to know it and see if this would be worth it to do more, because, you know, every time I have a show, people, oh, you should do jewelry. Well, no, I shouldn't. I don't like it. We have clarified now. So, yeah, anyways, it is 4th of July, so I'm going to hop off here, edit this video, and put it up for you guys all to see. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm gonna make sure to link both Alexis's video from Wandering Art, as well as Shiri's video from Forever Love, the one that first originally inspired us, down below. So make sure you guys go and give them some love. Check their channels out, see if there's anything that you absolutely adore, and give them a huge thumbs up for me. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing 4th of July. It definitely is one of the best holidays for me, because that is the anniversary of when my husband and I first said I love you, and so I'm really excited for today. I think it'll be amazing and beautiful and awesome sauce, and we're gonna have some people over and have some fun. So hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all next time.